everybody, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to day 4 out of the 5 days in our art history unit. Today we're going to be studying Pablo Picasso, who actually had like a lot of names. It wasn't just Pablo, it wasn't just Picasso, there were a lot of names in between. And we are going to be doing this as our final project for this particular thing. And I'm actually going to walk you through how to do the outline in this lesson, but the outline directions are also included in the package. So I hope you like this one. And today, all you're going to need are a piece of paper, a writing instrument, something to color with, could be markers, crayons, colored pencils, doesn't matter. And then the informational text, the biography, which I actually got from the same site that I got most of our other information from, with the exception of Warhol's. So today we are going to do vocabulary in this cool form, which is in bookmark form. So all you need to do is just cut a thin strip of paper, and you can write the words and the definitions on this thin strip of paper and use it as a bookmark. I wanted to show you this one, which is also really cool for when you are especially studying a novel or a reading with your kiddos. They can add to it as they learn more things or come across more words that are new to them or interesting to them. They could already know what it means, but they think that it's a really interesting word. And so sometimes we call that being a word wizard. You go through your text and you find new words that are really fascinating. So today's words are elongated, unusually long in relation to its width; cubism, which is early 20th century movement in art in which use is made of simple geometric shapes and interlocking planes, and later collage. And then surrealist, you have an art or artist which sought to release creative potential of the unconscious mind. Now, for surrealist art, Picasso did delve into this a bit in his own art, but I think of Salvador Dali and the melting clocks. But that's kind of what surrealism looks like. But today our project is more focusing on the cubism aspect of it. So I'm going to skim through the passage just like we do all the time. Pablo Picasso grew up in Spain, and his father was a painter and art teacher, and Picasso loved to draw from an early age. He attended a famous art school in Barcelona. There is a period in his art called the Blue Period. Now, the Blue Period is when Pablo Picasso was very sad. Now, adults who are running this lesson, it does go into something fairly dark and deep in this particular biography. So in my copy to you, I did highlight it in the pink just so that you're aware that this happened. So in young kid terms, Pablo Picasso's friend passed away, and he got very sad. Pablo Picasso got very sad. And so a lot of the paintings during this time they looked sadder, they were darker, and this was called his Blue Period. He often painted people with elongated faces. That's one of our words. So if you look at this picture of the old guitarist, I mean, the guy doesn't look that happy, right? He looks pretty sad in his body language. And you can Google image some of these paintings by him if you would like. Then he went into the Rose Period, which is when he got over his depression, is the way that they worded it here, and he fell in love with a French model. Now that'll do it, right? And he began to use warmer colors in his paintings, like pinks and reds and oranges. And a famous painting from this period is The Peasants and Mother and Child. After his Rose Period, then he got into Cubism, which is the one where, when I think of Picasso, that's kind of what I think. It's like the weird looking, where the eye's in the wrong place, the nose is over here, the mouth's over here, like it's just all over the place. And it was a very experimental style of new painting. And he began to combine cubism and collage, and he would use sand or plaster in his paint to give it texture. And some of his paintings include The Three Musicians and the portrait of Ambrose Vollard. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Now, he continued to experiment with Cubism, and then he went into a period that he did a little bit more classical style paintings, like The Woman in White. And then he became really interested in the Surrealist movement. Surrealist paintings weren't supposed to make a whole lot of sense. Remember, you're going into this unconscious part of your mind, like think of dreams, where everything looks kind of weird and not quite normal. And some people called this time his monster period, which is really interesting. And a lot of people really liked his stuff. Some of his paintings got sold for over $100 million. That's incredible. Might have been after he passed away, but that's interesting. And he was married twice and he had 4 children. Anyway, so there's a bunch of interesting information. His biography is only about 3 pages long, super bite-sized chunks. Okay. In the packet that I sent you, there is a step-by-step that you can do to make a collage painting. So the point of these lessons is to kind of use what you have on hand at home to be able to carry these lessons through. So I'm going to do it drawing style because I'm going to assume that most people have something to draw on and something to draw with. If you wanted to do it more a cut and paste style, you could and get like construction paper and do different geometric shapes and have them make a funky face that looks kind of like this. Sorry, the mirror effect. Looks kind of like this, or whatever their imagination, wherever their imagination takes them. And then of course you don't have to choose the same color scheme that's right here. But this is the step-by-step. This is the basis of the one that we're doing today. So I'm going to hope that stays up while I try to do this with you. So the first thing you're going to do is, you could fold your paper in half and then in half to just kind of center it, but I'm just going to eyeball it. So you're going to do basically like a flat head at the top and then curve it down like so. And then you draw a neck like that. And then you start at the top of the head, kind of in the middle, draw a line down that kind of goes to the side, and like a quick little zigzag like so, okay? Then you're gonna add some part of the lips right here, almost looks like a 3, and then a line down to the chin. And then on the one side of the face, you're gonna do like a cone, like so, and then an oval, and then a little eyeball in the middle, and then here is a eyebrow. And then I'm going to complete the lips over here with a line right here, okay? And then I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to do an eyebrow here, and then a more traditional looking eye where you have like this eyeball shape with the middle like so, and then a circle. And then you're gonna go to the lips over on this side and add the second half of the lips like that. I know it looks funky. It's supposed to look funky. This one is gonna be a more rounded ear on this end, and this one's gonna be kind of a sharper ear on this end. And then finally, you're gonna do the hair. Like that. And like that. And then, like I showed you earlier, this is my final product where I colored it in. I used markers. Here's a note before I go. this is just a general note. It's so hard when you're doing art in front of other people to qualify it with saying, I know this isn't good, or I'm not very good at this, or I hear teachers do it all the time. I did it all the time. I feel like I am terrible at drawing, but I'm going to draw it anyway. Things like that. I have learned in time, you want to shift that verbiage, and as minor as it sounds, you want to promote almost like a growth mindset. Say, I'm not very good at drawing yet, but I'm going to practice and get better at it. So I know I've said, like, you don't have to be an artist to do these art projects. What I mean is you don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Lean into whatever it is that you're doing and whatever it is that you're teaching your kiddos, and teach them that with patience and with practice, you're going to get even better at something if you put in that kind of time. So when I was drawing this, I had to fight the urge to be like, oh, I messed up her lips. But they're supposed to be messed up. It's okay. But I have to keep talking to myself and say, I'm trying and I'm doing better and I'm leading by example, so I'm going to use the right words with my kiddos. And so I hope that makes sense. I know it's minor, but you want to really incorporate a growth mindset in your kids. Because if we're not learning anything else now, it's that we have to learn to be able to shift and to change and to roll with the punches and to use our strengths and to build up our needs so that they can serve us whenever we need to call on them, if that makes sense. Okay, so have an awesome day. That's my little PSA at the end. I hope you liked it, and wash your hands. And don't touch your face like I am. See you guys later. Have a good day.